What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and we are back for season 4. This is The Boys. I've actually previously recapped a season of this on my channel. That's how long I've been around. So we're back with season 4, and I'm recapping it. I'm going to do individual episodes. I don't like binge watching anyway, and especially considering the news that we got, the devastating news that season 5 will be the last season of The Boys. Is really just sort of putting into perspective. It's like, okay, so I have 20 more episodes of The Boys, and then we're done. Or is it 16? Did they do 8 or 10? I can't remember now. But it's limited. It's a very limited amount of episodes left that we have to enjoy the series. So enjoy it, savor it. Don't just binge watch the hell out of it. Don't just binge watch it to death. Obviously, there will still be Gen V. We might give some more Diabolical. I'm sure there will be another spinoff. This is the franchise Amazon is not going to let die. Sort of like AMC with The Walking Dead. I'm sure someone will get a spinoff. We may get like an A-Train spinoff or something. Who knows? Who knows who gets the spinoff? But please not The Deep. Anybody but The Deep. It's just weird. I really just don't want to it's weird. He's not the strongest character and very one-dimensional. But Black Noir would be fun because he never speaks. That'd be a weird series to follow. So we're back, season 4, and right off the top, there's no Maeve, and there's no Soldier Boy. And they are in sort of like the little recap of the previous season. I don't know if we're going to find out later on that they survived, but they're definitely not in the first episode. So, yep. Gone. And there are now 4 members of the 7, with some of them previously being killed off. And of course, Starlight is now in sort of like the anti-Homefront experience. So we're left with Homelander is left with A-Train, who has remarkably recovered from the events of season 3. The Deep, who is still having relations with octopuses, I don't know, whatever. He's still dealing with that. That's basically his storyline. There's a funny moment that Homelander has between A-Train and The Deep that goes to show just the fact of what he's trying to prove, that nobody ever counters him because they're so afraid that he's gonna like laser them, so he can't find anybody who will do anything but just be like, yes men, like, yes sir, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, of course, yeah, I'll do that, yes, sure, and then Black Noir somehow survived his intestines being ripped out, which was also in the recap from previous seasons. So now we're learning about his power set and how obviously he regenerates. He's regenerative. So Black Noir is fine, doing good, solid. He can heal what Homelander does to him. And we got Newman, who is still running for president and could pop ahead at any moment. And we also learned through sort of our opening little heist sequence that the boys are trying to do, that she cannot be shot in the head. Fun fact. So, don't try. She's apparently bulletproof also, or at least her head is. I kind of wonder if it's limited to her head and they just haven't explored other options. Because the one who pops heads, maybe her head can't pop. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. But I did think about that. I was like, it doesn't necessarily mean she's entirely bulletproof. It just may mean her head is bulletproof. Like, her head is solid. So, food for thought on that. So she's still running, and the boys are trying to figure out a way how to get, keep her away from the White House, so that because nobody wants a soup in the White House. It's interesting that we talk about this all the time, and of course we've got There are two soups that are in the boys. Of course, they're the girls of the boys. So there's that. We also started exploring Frenchie's sexuality through a character called Colin, who shows up. Butcher. We also started exploring his near death. He's pretty close. He's vomiting. He's dying. Homelander doesn't even bother with him anymore because he could see. I guess he could see his brain, and he's like, I don't know. There's a black mass in your brain, man. Like, how long do you have? 6 months? Like, and it does kind of feel like Butcher may not, if they don't find a way of fixing it for him, that he may not be long for this world. He does have a conversation with a new character played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who comes in and is sort of like just another regular guy out there fighting the good fight, who's like, Butcher, we could use somebody like you. And Butcher has kind of been demoted to being like the weak link of the boys because he doesn't ever follow directions. So that could end up being a thing depending on how much of the season Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in. I did notice that it's possible he's in quite a bit of this season because I noticed that somehow, despite the fact that Dead City came before Daryl Dixon last year, Daryl Dixon is coming before Dead City Season 2 this year. So we're already doing Daryl Dixon Season 2, which I believe comes back in September, when we already should have had Dead City Season 2. So that's obviously being pushed, probably to the spring. I'm going to guess we'll have one of them in the fall and one of them in the spring. So, yeah. Neither here nor there. Just totally an aside. But if you're wondering about is this one episode for Jeffrey Dean or is this more? I'm guessing he's in more of the season because there had to be some reason why Dead City was disrupted so long that they were able to shoot the other show that came after it. There's, Butcher wants to get Ryan away from Homelander. We've got Milk, who is trying to find Todd, who is a Homelander extremist, who was the guy that was with his ex-wife, and his daughter's like worried about what happened to Todd when they kicked Todd out and he's off being an extremist. There's a lot of like political stuff here going on and a lot of far right, far left, which is all helped along by a brand new character who is the smartest person in the world, is her ability. And she comes into this Sage and helps Homelander. But it's just the plan is starting. And it's very sort of like a disconcerting plan because she's smart enough to know why past civilizations have failed and how to recreate that. So she can sort of structure the fail of society, like the fall of civilization, and structure it in a way so that Homelander is entertained and is also the person who can save society and rebuild it so that he is at the top of it again. She becomes the one person who can talk to Homelander and just say what it is. She's pitched as part of, because they're trying to fill out the rest of the Seven, so she's pitched as sort of like a possible addition for the Seven. And they try to write her off and they're like, no, not her. But I think he's intrigued by the fact that she is the smartest person in the world and knows all, and she's intrigued by the power to do with her intelligence what she has the power to do. Of course, what hasn't crossed Homelander's mind, what has crossed my mind, is that she's smart enough that she could actually figure out a way to put herself on top without Homelander knowing. So it just sort of like how Stormfront ended up being not the best thing for Homelander. It's entirely possible that she may not be the best thing for Homelander either, because she could find a way to work the whole thing in her favor while looking like it's for Homelander's sake. And then finally, when the plan comes to fruition, she gets to topple Homelander, and then she's on top. And I have totally thought about that after just one episode of meeting her. Because when you have somebody who is literally the smartest person in the world, and you have somebody who's like the most egotistical superhero in the world in the same room, he's going to think that she's going to follow him on this journey. But if she can outsmart him, then why not? So, anyway, should be a fun season. It sort of ends in a brawl between people. They drop the first 3 episodes. I'm reviewing them separately on different days because I don't like binge watching. So the closest to binge watching I'll do is watching them on different days. But I don't like watching like multiple episodes in the same day because I feel like I'm wasting. Like, I know it's not going to be. I'm not going to get another Boys until at least 2026. You know, that'll be season 5, probably 2026 at the earliest. Could be 2027. So that's kind of what they said about Bridgerton, is that it's unlikely that we'll get it until possibly 2027. So she's got other things. Shonda's got other shit she wants to do. Maybe 2026, 2027 at the earliest. No plans for next year, obviously, which is suspected because we don't get back-to-back Bridgerton, really. It takes a while for them to film. So, anyway, this Boys, so I'm going to give... Of course, I'm giving The Boys an A. I love The Boys. There's no real reason for me to not give it an A. It just doesn't disappoint me. It is exactly what it says it is. It's unabashedly its own thing. Fun fact, I looked through the cast. I did not know that Simon Pegg was playing the father in this to Jack Quaid. I don't think of Simon Pegg as being old enough to do that. Now I guess he is. Anyway, so maybe could we have gotten Dennis? Would that have been possible to get Dennis in here to play his spot? Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.